Welcome back to Bow News Network with our ongoing coverage of Tropical Storm Henri. It has actually been downgraded from a hurricane, nevertheless, at 60 miles per hour, maximum sustained winds with a pressure of 987 millibars. This is still a very powerful storm that's actually occurring at this time. If we go directly to our Doppler radar coverage, we can actually see a special warning for marine warning in the region of Delaware Bay, and we do see in the region of Trenton, New Jersey, there's going to be flash flood advisories between Trenton and Middletown. During the early morning hours, we saw a significant amount of rainfall that actually was inundating the area near Philadelphia. There was actually an outer band as the system was making its way inland that actually just basically came right out of the. We actually saw the early stages of this band reaching itself out into the region of Philadelphia, and we anticipated that it would bring significant amount of rain in the early morning hours. And sure enough, it did, based on the local spotter reports. We can see at this particular time on our Doppler radar, this is actually showing. That was actually showing the storm rainfall per an hour basis, and that color scheme suggests that the rain near Stafford Township was in the region of anywhere from 8 to 10 inches per an hour of rainfall. These are isolated localities, of course, not entirely the entire region, but we can see here any of the regions that are showing orange and red are significant amount of rainfall in a very, very short period of time based on the Doppler radar imagery coming in from the northeast. We do see local spotter reports of severe thunderstorm activity in the region also offshore near New Bedford, and actually just west of that flash flood advisory near Norwich. And we are seeing some really powerful cells. Now, keep in mind, many of these flash flood advisories are actually going to be in effect for the next hour or two as the system comes on board, and it's actually making landfall a little bit more pronounced at this particular time. Here we are at around midday Eastern Daylight Time, Eastern Standard Time, sorry, and we actually see several telltale signs of significant amount of rainfall in the region. We anticipated that it would actually, the core of the storm would actually be more towards the east of Long Island, and in fact, it appears that the core is actually making its way a little bit to the east of that, but the outer bands are bringing a significant amount of rainfall to the region. If we take a closer look at our what we anticipate as far as the positioning of this storm, we can see that it's making its way inland at this particular time based on the last report from the National Hurricane Center, 11 a.m. Sunday. It will continue to move inland through Connecticut and actually make its way through Vermont, and then through Vermont it will make its way through New Hampshire as most likely a depression on Monday night. So keep in mind that this system is going to bring a lot of additional rainfall on top of the rainfall that was received as a result of Fred that was moving through, and which led to 6 to 8 inches of rainfall in the region as it moved through. So there's going to be a very, very high chance of additional flooding, especially with respect to the coastline states in New England. So it will actually, we're not looking at as far as it escaping the range of Maine and heading off to the ocean once again, possibly on Tuesday morning. So we're still going to be dealing with a significant amount of rainfall between now, midday Sunday, and Tuesday morning. So residents should be prepared for a significant amount of rainfall, tropical force winds as the system makes its way inland. But at this particular time, we're now concerned about severe flooding in the region of New York City, all the way down to the Stafford Township, New Jersey, and over to Philadelphia. Philadelphia received a really thrashing of severe rain in the very early morning hours. So we're kind of hoping that there was not a lot of significant flooding or even loss of life as a result of any kinds of flash flooding or any other incidents for dealing with the rain and a significant amount of rainfall. But we do see the outer bands of this system affecting all the way down to Atlantic City, Philadelphia. We do see that flash flood advisories in the region of Trenton, New Jersey. As far as the region for As far as the region right now, we're looking at the Doppler radar, and we're actually seeing some really powerful cells that are actually moving into the region at this particular time for Hartford, Connecticut, and we're really concerned about the severe downpour of rain in that region. But we do see some really powerful cells that are coming online, coming on board as this system makes landfall. We're going to continue to monitor this system as it makes its way inland. Residents should prepare for significant amount of rainfall, and there's going to be a strong likelihood that thousands of residents in the region will lose power as a result of the strong tropical force winds that are going to be felt. Tropical force storm winds that will actually be felt throughout the next 20 to 24 hours as the system makes its way further inland. It will be downgraded as a depression anticipated in the early morning hours of Monday, at which time the winds should still be somewhere between 30 to 40 miles per hour. And of course, it will still have all of the elements of a strong tropical storm, which is torrential rain, rain coming out from the outer bands, even though the core will start to falter quite a bit as it will be experiencing different forces of shear as it enters over land. Keep in mind that this will still be a strong tropical storm, potential of knocking out power, and also knocking out utilities, as well as down power lines, as well as down tree limbs in the area. So it will still represent a significant risk going forward, even into Monday morning, as it's downgraded to depression somewhere near southeastern New Hampshire. So we'll continue to monitor this system as it makes its way inland. We do see that the core is actually making landfall at this particular time. So we're going to continue to monitor this system as it makes its way further into the region. And as the core of this tropical storm actually makes its presence a little bit more revealed, we'll actually be able to see on the Doppler radar which areas receive some significant heavy rain. In the early morning hours, areas such as Toms River, as well as Jackson and Tuckertown and Surf City received a significant amount of rainfall. So there's a good chance that there's going to be issues of flash flooding there. And we are looking at possibly additional flash flood advisories for various areas in the region of New Jersey. Earlier there was a flash flood advisory for New Brunswick, as well as Plainfield, Middletown, as well as the Stafford Township. So we're going to be looking at the radar as far as what is actually happening with respect to those areas for additional rainfall, and we will provide our next report as we get more information as the system actually makes its way further inland, impacting the region of the New England and the Northeast. Please make sure that you stay safe and don't take any risks as far as venturing outside as the system makes its way on land. We do see some areas on the Doppler radar where there's a rotation, and that could signal precursor to possibly water spouts or tornado activity. So we're definitely monitoring this system as it makes its way inland, but we are seeing some really, really powerful rain cells producing rain anywhere from 5 to 7 inches per an hour. which means that there's going to be potential for significant flash flooding. As the system moves in, we anticipate we'll see more flash flood advisories in the region of Connecticut. We do see along the coastline of Connecticut, New Haven. We had anticipated that based on our previous forecast that a bulk of the more severe weather would be felt from anywhere from New Haven east, and that's why at that particular time in the early parts of the night, when we had anticipated that there would still be time enough for you to get out of the way of the storm. But now, based on our flash flood advisories on the Doppler radar, we do see those flash flood advisories for zones that are east of New Haven as the system makes its way in. The reason why we anticipated that we would see more flash flood advisories east of New Haven was simply because that would be the northeastern side of the core, and we do see that structure of the core based on everything coming in, where we see reports of tropical storm winds in the region, just a little bit to the region of New Haven, and that was anticipated as the system was moving in, because generally, with the rotation of a tropical storm, the more severe weather will be on the northeastern side. So we had anticipated that there would be a flooding risk in for the region of New Haven along east of New Haven into New Bedford, Providence area, as the system made its way in, and can actually see a lot more as the system moves in. We're seeing a lot more local spotter reports of tropical storm winds to the east of that flash flood advisory near Norwich in Connecticut. So as the core makes its way inland, we're seeing more of the more severe winds on that east side of the storm in the area of New Bedford, Plymouth, and Providence, based on local spotter reports coming in at this particular time, with a higher concentration of rain in the region of New London area and South Kingston at this particular time. So we'll continue to monitor the Doppler radar and provide additional coverage of this storm as it makes its way inland, and we'll continue to provide alerts as we receive them from the National Hurricane Center regarding Tropical Storm Henri as it makes its way inland, creating a lot of torrential rain, flash flood advisories in the region also. And we'll continue to bring you that latest coverage as far as alerts and also on local spotter reports as far as any possible tornadoes or water spouts or more severe weather as the system makes its way inland. Well, thank you for watching Bound News Network. We will continue to monitor Tropical Storm Henri as it makes its way inland. We do appreciate all of our subscribers. We wish you the very, very highest level of safety during these challenging times with this tropical storm impacting the Northeast. Please follow your intuition and stay safe, and we'll try and ride the storm together here, and we'll provide you with the latest information so that you can stay ahead of the storm. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.